Ah, Bionicle G3, I love it so much. And what better way to celebrate my love of this theme than by taking a look at the Protector of Stone. Today, let's study this set. We're gonna highlight the pros, the cons, we're gonna check out the pieces and see how you can use them in your own MOCs. And then we'll take a look at a few revamps. Look, you know the drill. Let's dive in. This is the Protector of Stone. But actually, they do have a real name. Their canon in-story name is Nilku. Now, I've always been a big fan of Nilku's aesthetic. It plays a lot with asymmetry. One side has this nice silver shoulder pad. The other side has very slim, dark orange armor with spikes. And I think that makes sense, right? Nilku lives in a very harsh desert climate. So, it's fun to imagine that maybe he once did have double-sided silver armor on both shoulders. But, with that harsh desert climate, armor gets damaged, lost, or just, I don't know, you're fighting some sort of beast in the middle of the desert and you lose it. So, missing a shoulder pad, Nilku just has to make do with what he's got. That's the life of living in the desert. And then these bone spikes. We also see them on his feet. They're in a few different places. You get the sense that these might have come from some sort of creature that passed away in the desert because, I don't know, they couldn't survive the harsh sandstorms. And maybe it's just like a cultural thing. You take the bones and you use them for decoration. I mean, heck, Pahatu has the exact same thing. It seems that a lot of people do this. I really like the world building that these details set up. I like the culture that it establishes. And I like the shared visual design on both of these characters. And I like too that none of the other Protectors and Toa, none of them have this exact same design. It feels so unique to these guys. And G2 just did a really good job of that, really differentiating each tribe, each character, and especially on the Protectors, who for the most part looked very similar. They found very subtle ways to make each one stand out and have their own, personality. I really like that. It's good toy design. That's the thing, right? Any set can look good, but to then have justification for that sick design, well, that's the recipe for a great set. Plus, I just cherish these dark orange pieces. Dark orange is such a good color, and we really didn't get much of it in Bionicle. So to have Pahatu and Nilku give us a pretty decent supply of it, heck yeah, man, it's so good. I also enjoy Nilku's stuff. The shape of it is quite nice, and check out those lightning pieces. So striking. He also has the standard stud shooter embedded on the inside, and yeah, with a simple twist of the handle, the studs shoot out. Which is fun, which is clever, but I have a complicated relationship with this piece. It's fun, it's cool, but the studs, it's so easy to lose them. I don't know. Other than that, there's a lot to love. The set poses well, and he just looks cool. Especially that mask. I've had people message me before and they're like, Ben, I just like the Protector mask. It's so good. And you know what? I agree. Might be one of the best pieces to come out of G2. It was very nice. Hey, even the skull spider in this set is a little bit unique, adding in one extra claw on the back to give him a little scorpion tail. And actually, I think taking this spider and turning it into I want to say a scorpion, but I guess it's more of a scorpion spider. That's fitting for a desert climate, where this thing lives. One small change, but it works. Alright, so I've already talked a little bit about some of the great pieces in this set. Let's dive in and talk about the rest. And I'll show you how you can use them to build your own creations. Kicking it off with this trans neon green CCBS bone. It's a lovely recolor. Nothing wrong with, continuing to use this to make limbs. But let's toss it up a little bit. Let's put it in a new color scheme, much like Socket and Ball Torture has done here. Dude, how good does dark blue and trans neon green look? That is a stunning combination of colors. And check it out. You can slot in a lime piece here and there, and it blends right in. You can barely tell it's a different color. This is beautiful. There's also a brilliant combination of colors on Nilku's mask. And mate, don't they just look great as shoulder pads? Well, that's awesome. Now the same piece can also be used here for a tail feather on this animal Rahi. Although actually this mock uses a few other pieces from this set, namely of course, these dark orange CCBS shells, angling them like this to achieve kind of the perfect shaping for wings and the back of a flightless bird. Bro, that's good. I forgot to say, this is built by Timeball. You did a great job. Over to this dark blue skull spider mask. Mr. R03 uses 2 of them for some sensational looking knee pads. I love how much these jut up and protrude just a little bit off of the leg. The end result is beautiful. And of course, you get a nice supply of these claw elements. Black Pug Mock uses them for some claws on some hands and for some claws on these feet. These pieces look amazing and they pose really nicely as well. You know, it might be worth trying to pull off the exact same thing, but you gotta do it with pieces in your own collection. It could look good, really good. Now, I expressed some love for these lightning pieces. Let's see how you can use them on a mock. A Nilku does that, and it's been done very well. They actually translate quite nicely into feathers on a wing design. And hey, we've actually got a lot of pieces from the Protector of Stone. Yeah, I like seeing the mask making up the top part of the face. There's plenty of dark orange. It's great. Dude, this is pretty clever. Now, you could maybe pass this mock off as a revamp of Nilku, maybe. I don't know, it kind of reminds me, this is a little obscure, it kind of reminds me of The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess specifically, where Link could have his human form, but he could also transform into a wolf. Could be a cool idea to do, kind of the same thing. Give the protectors some sort of bestial transformation, a different form, if you will. Hey, maybe the protector of water could become a dolphin, the protector of fire could be a phoenix. That's a cool concept. That's not what this mock is doing, but it's interesting to think about. But okay, let's finish off with an actual revamp of the set, shall we? KZI 1 has a revamp of Nilku, and I adore this. Yeah, of course, you're gonna notice this new cloth addition, a nice scarf. You gotta keep the sand out of your mouth, and this is a good way to do that. So this of course is the exact same cloth piece that comes on the Rey Ultra Build Star Wars set. Isn't it amazing how much a cloth piece can just totally transform a mock? Because yeah, this would have looked good without the cloth, but it looks so good with the cloth. You gotta add cloth pieces to your own mocks. These new daggers as well, taking advantage of some of those rubber spike pieces that come on Rocker 3.0. They're used as his claws. Such a good idea to put them together, cover up the little stoppers with lift arms, and now you've got a bit of a bigger blade. And there's something about that scarf with these daggers. Dude looks like a little ninja. It's sick. I also love some of these small system pieces on the arm, and there's a few more down here on the blades as well. Small, simple touches. They can do quite a lot. And with that, I have now reviewed every single protector set from G2. Well, that's exciting. So if you want to go watch the others and maybe check out some ones that you might have missed, then take a look at the playlist section on my channel. I've made playlists for every single year and every single wave of sets for Bionicle and Hero Factory. So give those playlists a watch and you can check out some of the videos I did on other amazing Bionicle sets. And check the links below. If you're hungry to see even more mocks from the people I featured, you can find their links right there. Thanks for watching everyone, happy building, and bye for now. So what G2 set should I review next? I am hungry to do Umarak the Destroyer, but I'm just waiting for one really cool revamp of the set. Hey, maybe you can be the person that makes that.